Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Beach Bobcast podcast. My name is NeddyTheNoodle, or Ned, and I'm actually a guest here. Joining me today is Cracknest Crazy and On Fire 94.
No. It's crazy as Crack, and Cap has forsaken me.
Okay, just Crack.
Wow.
But yes, it's been a little while since we've had anything to talk about. But finally,
Yes.
we have a lot, actually.
A ton.
Like a metric load. We have Fjordur's full release on both console and PC. We have the new ARK 2 trailer and Steam page. And I'm sure there's more.
Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo Switch.
There's really
The cutscene
loads of
for
plans for
Scorched Earth.
continued support for Nintendo Switch and really just ARK 1 in general on the other platforms. They're going to be bringing those Ascension cutscenes that we're going to be getting at some point to other platforms. There's, of course, an Explorers mode that's coming to Switch as well. So really just a lot that they sort of just pulled out of nowhere within the past couple days as of this podcast. So, yeah, there's lots to talk about.
So a little bit of context here for this. So, the whole reason I made a Twitter account, I probably made my first Twitter account in 2014. It was to follow game devs for the earliest opportunity to read new updates and stuff. And obviously Jeremy Steiglitz was the go-to for that. He used to announce, he was I think maybe the old community manager, way before Jat, because all of the patch notes and stuff he would tweet about. But, last couple years, he barely tweets at all, but when he does, it is a banger. I remember reading on Twitter, I'm like, oh shit, what? Scorched Ascension? Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, it's weird having him actually mention something like that.
Because I remember...
him and Jesse are just completely buried in their work all the time. They're really the creative direction behind the main idea of ARK 1 and ARK 2, as far as I'm aware, now joined by Vin Diesel, of course.
I gotta say, I'm on the Vin Diesel bandwagon. Nettie, if you watch the episodes, I know you follow the podcast, but if you listen to them, Cap has requested that I put a Vin Diesel counter in at least 2 of them.
Yeah, that's fair. He's really cool. He likes family.
Got it.
That's always a good value.
Rockwell is strong, but not as strong as family.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. So, all right, let's talk about Fjordur, yo.
Yeah.
So, Vikings. I think with Fjordur, they really decided Ragnarok was really successful. ARK 1, this is going to be the final custom ARK for ARK. So
that is depressing. You hate to see
it. Yeah, and they're let's pull out the most successful custom ARK, basically Ragnarok 2.0, just to go out with a bang, and that's pretty much what they did. I mean, they even used the Ragnarok music, the main theme.
Noticed
they kind
that.
of remixed it. Yeah, it's really cool.
Well, not in a bad way, because I absolutely love that Ragnarok theme. When the trailer for that map came out, I'm like, oh, that is such a banger track.
Yeah, it was.
God, it's amazing.
And, I gotta say, I know some people are probably well, it's a dinosaur game. It's supposed to be a Nah, man, forget about that. Can we just get a full ARK, Asgard crossover game? Just straight up Norse ARK. Because then you could give us, how, the, Scorched and Aberration kind of started throwing, fantasy creatures out there. How about, a whole roster of, fantasy-inspired stuff, like a Pegasus and all that type of stuff? I want to see that so bad.
Would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But not like Atlas. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, we don't need that again.
ARK.
Yeah, Atlas was a complete disaster.
Me and my friend Parker, we recently have started up an Atlas world once again. And even today, that game still... I mean, it's been updated a lot since the last time I played it, but it still does not to run and play very well. So it started crashing every 30 seconds, and we just straight couldn't play the game for about 2 weeks. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, I haven't touched it in many months. I wanted to make some kind of video essay video on it where I was this is why Atlas failed.
The rise and fall, or actually just fall of Atlas.
Yeah. The complete and utter fall of Alice. But I couldn't even get motivated to play the game because it was so glitchy, and I couldn't even record it at like good frame rate. It was just like, I don't even want to make a video about how much this game sucks.
It's kind of like a joke
depressing.
I made the last episode of this that we did with Nat, where I don't remember what game we were talking about. ARK Mobile. It was ARK Mobile, and I'm like, abandonware the day it was released. Like, they just, I know that they've attempted to fix things and stuff, but like, I don't know if just the dev team is too small or there's just a lack of direction. But like, Atlas needs
about the Switch
a lot.
version?
No. Atlas needs the mobile version of ARK. Just abandonware immediately.
Well, the Switch version of ARK was abandoned immediately. I'm pretty sure the mobile version kept getting updates. It was just like, sort of microtransaction updates.
Oh, you love to see it.
Yeah.
Pay $10.99 to fast forward this Giga tame.
I think it was like,
Yeah.
you had to pay like some stupid like $60 to use admin command.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was
I can't
awful.
stand it when games, specifically mobile games, have microtransactions that go over $10. Like,
I know.
oh, Jurassic World the game. I don't want to buy a legendary pack for the price of a full console game. Like, come on. It's absurd. Back on topic with ARK, though, where we've already spiraled out of control.
So yeah, Fjordur adds 4 new creatures as well as a new boss. That's right, correct? Desmodus, Andrew, Fjordur, Fjordhawk, Fenrir, and then the Fenrir boss. I don't know the extent to which these things all interact, and I haven't really played much on the map yet. Maybe like an hour and a half of Monarchy, which is a recent group I joined. But it looks amazing. It's one of the most polished maps I've ever played on ARK, which makes sense because it's their final time doing this for what, the 12th time?
Something like that.
I don't know. There's so many. There's all right. There's 5. No, there's 6 story maps.
and this is the 6th custom.
Yes,
ARK, so
that
this
sounds
should be
correct.
the 12th, which is nice. It's a nice even number. I'm glad they finished out on that one. If they add one more, I'm gonna riot.
It's gonna be one more, and it's gonna be like all maps but stitched together, so you can freely travel through all of them.
Sounds like a fun time for your RAM and your hard drive.
Yeah, the map is just called ARK Bonfire, and it's very good for maintaining heat if you live in the Arctic or want to purge any spiders from the inside of your PC.
Yeah. ARK 500 gigabytes. The map is just called 500 gigabytes.
ARK Surface of the Sun.
Yeah. ARK Aberration Surface.
But Aberration Surface, that's good. That's good. But no,
yeah, so
Fjordur, yeah, I love everything I'm seeing of the map, though. I have not had a chance to play on it. I am currently in the process of moving the world that I play on for background footage, to Fjordur. So that involves a lot of trips back and forth from the obelisk. So very soon I will be moved to that map, but I have not had a chance to actually start up on that map yet.
Gotcha. Yeah, and we can otherwise use footage from other stuff if need be on Fjordur specifically. I'll probably be recording very soon, doing 2 playthroughs simultaneously of that, or will be soon. But
yeah, I gotta say, of the favorite creatures, of the new creatures, the Desmodus is like a 12 out of 10, man. Like, it's what the Onyx should have always been. It's what, like, when they were first talking about TLCs, I'm like, this is what the Onyx needs to be. And then they just went and made it. You just went and made a new dinosaur? And it's like a dream come true. I cannot wait to have like 50 of them just surrounding my base.
God, it's got such fantastic animations. That's what I noticed. I've played with it for like 5 seconds. The animations are great.
Yeah, they are.
I freaking love that thing.
It's like every new creature Wildcard makes, except the Tropianathus, is like knocked out of the park.
No,
and the Tropios seemed a little bit slapped together, but
they're like reskin.
I mean, let's be honest.
It literally makes the exact same noises as the Tapiara. So I am not sure the story behind that, but I'm sure there's a good one.
Yeah. So, do you guys want to talk a little bit about ARK 2?
Yes.
Enough about fjordur. Everybody loves fjordur. We've got lots to explore. There's like 5,000 runes or whatever you have to collect, level 190 Mjolnir, all kinds of new things, which is very exciting. But, you know what's even more exciting? ARK 2.
No,
Yes.
no.
In my
Neddy, you're
opinion.
mistaken. You know what's even more exciting is ARK the animated series. But I am still looking forward to ARK 2, of course.
You know, they did show off a bunch of new animated series stuff.
They have Bob, voiced by Carl Urban, aka Billy Butcher, and the Doomslayer, and Thor Ragnarok, C character. I wanted to say Surtur, but I know that's not right because that's the big fire guy. Scourge. It's
Yeah, he's
Scourge.
cool.
It's Scourge.
He's an excellent actor.
No,
Yes.
I love
Absolutely
Carl Urban.
Great. One of the greats. And then we, of course, have Madeline Madden voicing Helena Walker, or Maddie Madden. They started calling her Maddie Madden, which is interesting. I guess they've been working with her long enough. They're sort of on that nickname basis now. But,
Yep.
of course, Tenant of the David. And we've got Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel, of course.
Oh no.
Very, very happy.
Sissy Jones, I think, voicing Gladiator lady? Something?
Too many
Yes.
names. Too much lore.
There's a lot.
They got Russell Crowe as the guy,
Booga Booga.
The guy.
I think it's the Prophet, or they call him the Prophet or something.
and then I think they have Gerard Butler or Butcher. I can't remember.
Butcher.
Gerard Butler as Gaius Marcellus Nerva.
See, we got our lore expert, our resident lore expert, to
Yeah.
properly pronounce all the names.
Yeah. Yeah, and just sort of, even I don't know if it's coming out anytime soon, but I'm going to be remastering all the existing survival stories into like some supercuts.
Ooh.
And maybe changing up the order so people can watch like the entire island story without having to switch videos.
See, that's
in
cool. I
chronological
always like stuff like that.
But enough about me. So are we? Let's see. Animated series ARK 2.
That was pretty much all for the animated series. Unfortunately, I'd
Yeah.
love to sit
Yeah,
here
we-
and dissect a new trailer, but it simply
We
does
just-
not
yeah.
exist.
Didn't get much. They really like to show us like little like character boards or whatever, you know, like of different. Like here's what the dodo looks like. Here's what the Gaius Marcellus Nerva looks like, and it's like, oh, that's cool and everything, but we'd like to see some animation. And they're like, no, it's actually not coming out until X amount of time that we're not gonna reveal.
Is there a release
So-
year yet, or no?
I thought they said 2020,
Yeah, I was pretty sure they said 2022.
but we just don't know. But you know what? Sometimes that makes it more fun when you don't know.
I mean,
But
it's a
what we
wild
do
card,
know-
right? Besides Scorched
Yeah.
Earth, I've never had faith in a release date. And the secret with Scorched Earth is I didn't know about it until the day it came out.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, man, the day Scorched Earth came out, I was driving to the hospital.
Oh.
I just remember that because I was like, for the next week, I'm going to be in a hospital bed. Damn it, I really wanted to play that expansion.
That sucks. Sorry to hear that.
It was just a double pneumonia thing. But once I got back, I was so ready to survive the heat. And so I didn't, because I didn't play it much until like many years later. But
I remember sitting there
You know
for
what?
hours on my phone, just bored out of my mind. And I'm like, they're streaming. And they got this weird picture of eggs. And I remember like the biggest theory at the time, because that was like the screensaver of the stream, like the three
Right.
colored eggs. The big theory all the YouTubers were saying is, it's going to be boss eggs. Because like in the patch notes for years were like world bosses or something and like the upcoming. So people were like, this is it, world bosses. And then immediately, like the first scene of the trailer, a fucking dragon. Dragons. Boom. Dragon.
yeah, it's just like, it really shook us up.
And plus,
Find the
you know,
word.
I don't want to say it was like right when Skyrim was popular because, you know, this would have been 2016, 5 years after the game came out. but still, Skyrim is sort of an evanescent presence, especially on like the wyvern-esque design of dragons.
They do look really similar to Skyrim's dragons.
Well, besides the
be
head
fair.
shape, yeah, they're almost identical. Honestly, though, especially the frost wyverns.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. All right, so
I wonder if Ark 2 is going to have wyverns.
I really
think
hope it
the
does.
community will literally boycott the game if it doesn't. But it
Well-
does scare me that they are not present on the Genesis 2 lifeboat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Please
Well,
don't do this.
the thing is, they can do really whatever they want because the Genesis 2 ship basically has data of like just about every creature on it, and so because it's sci-fi, they can just kind of pull like a they can
Also,
pull a sci-fi.
we didn't really get to explore the whole ship at all. We only were in one section of it. There could have been a whole area with all new dinosaurs we didn't know about.
Well, and also, I mean, let's be
Exactly.
real. It's a video game. Have you
Yeah,
have you ever
exactly.
played through Halo 4? That game has taught me one thing and one thing only, and that is that anything can be retconned at any time.
Which is sad because lore people hate when they do that. But at least with like exploring.
Halo
so
4's intro is like the antithesis of the nanomachine, son. Like, oh man, I don't know if you guys played Metal
Never
Gear,
played Halo,
Metal Gear
but-
Never
Revengeance.
played Halo
Oh,
either.
Netty, that pains me to hear.
I think I bought like the most recent one on Steam and then I never installed
It's
it.
free. What do you mean you bought
Or
it?
yeah, no, or no, I think I may have installed it and then never launched it. Yeah, the free one.
That's
Halo Infinite.
Halo Infinite. Yep, that is it.
Yeah.
But don't waste your time with that one. You want to go to the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
Halo
that's what I've
fans,
heard.
please don't come to my house or dox my IP address. Thank you very much. But Ark Survival Evolved 2. We got a brand new trailer, be it short and pre-rendered, but still.
Yeah, so it's we got to see this implant on a skeleton that was still lighting up when the dodo was pecking it, which is kind of insane because that implies that the energy inside of it is somehow like still there, or there's just so much that it like
It's just a single piece of element with like a piece of aluminum on top of it, you know, like just unlimited power and probably also
Yeah.
cancer, but try not to think about that part too much.
yeah. Yeah, you ever wonder why survivors don't last very long?
You ever wonder why all the survivors look so strange?
Yeah,
That massive piece of element in the wrist.
It was there all along.
But there's lots of new information released on Ark 2. They have a fully updated Steam page now. Actually, I don't even think it was there originally. So there's a lot
incredible.
to be really excited for, and a lot that is sort of a hot take currently.
Yeah, like third person only.
Third person only
yeah.
and Souls-like melee combat. Now, personally, I'm kind of all for it. Like, Ark to me is sort of a game like Minecraft. I don't really think that there's a whole lot they could do with the sequel that they couldn't do with the first game. Besides, like, basic, like, oh, the building overhaul can be better and, you know, combat can be, like, a little snappier. But, like, you can always do new maps. You can always add new creatures. So it's always sort of fundamentally going to kind of play the same. But at least with something like this, it really is going to be like a completely new beast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is with third person is like, there's a way to do it right, I think, and if they can really pull that off, like, I don't know, probably my favorite third person game is The Last of Us 1, and if they can have combat that is that smooth, or at least a third person system that's that smooth, obviously The Last of Us had guns. I don't know if Ark 2 is gonna have like even just like primitive guns. That would be awesome. I never even thought about that, but
Primitive guns like flintlock
Primitive guns.
pistols.
yeah, like simple pistols, you know, that kind of stuff. I mean, think about that. I feel like that never even crossed my mind because we were kind of just like talking.
I
about
don't
bows
know.
and
From
stuff.
what we're seeing, I'm thinking Ark 2 is really going to be just like straight up like only primitive, like nothing past
Yeah.
like chitin tier. Just because
There
from
is
what
a-
they've shown, it doesn't really look like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, well, compared to Ark 1, of course, when you look at the art for Ark 1, like even before the game was even out, they announced it. You see like this lady holding an assault rifle riding a dinosaur.
Hey, Nettie, do you want a fun
Um,
fact? Not to get off topic, but do you know who that lady is?
Helena Walker.
And do you know who you can thank for that fact?
Who?
Me. A long
Whoa.
time ago, I've mentioned this in the podcast before, so I'm not going to dwell on it a whole lot. But during one of their Q&A sessions, I asked that question and actually got a response, which was incredible. That was awesome.
Was that Was that before Helena was an Explorer Note, or?
I honestly think that was kind of before Explorer Notes were like a real big part of the game. Like there was still some. Let me see if I can find it. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to find it, at least easily in our Discord. So hold on, give me 1 second.
Yeah, it could have been like in an early pass of the Explorer Notes, because the Explorer Notes are really wacky. They've gone through like tons of iterations being added to the game. Same with the dossiers. But
Let's
yeah,
see. So my screenshot is
moment.
from September 2017. So I don't know the state of the Explorer Notes at that time.
Yeah, they were in 26, because ARK released in August 2017. And
15. It would have been 15.
No, I mean released as in they said it was like
fully
done.
released.
That's when they added like the
Oh
ending
god, that
and
wasn't
everything.
2019.
That was 2017.
Oh,
2017?
guys, I feel old. Stop.
Dude, that morning when that happened, I like got up extra early to record the ending before anyone else, and Up From the Depths beat me to it, and I was so pissed. He was the first one to do it, and I was the second one, and then Syntac and all them rolled through with their endings.
I remember
Said
watching
that's so
Syntax video on it.
derogatory, and then Syntac and all those guys rolled through.
Syntac and his lackeys.
You pest.
Yes,
Oh, we're
I
just
gotta
kidding,
DM him
Syntac. We love you.
one
We
day.
love you, Syntac. Please come on our podcast.
Get Syntac to play Gallimimus, Life of a Gallimimus.
Dude, honestly though, you gotta send him a DM for that because he would definitely do it.
In the Megalodon video coming out on Monday, Raz Clark played like this Argentavis, and he had like 200 words of dialogue, so...
And again, I remember following him when he was at like 30k subs. He just passed 100,000 like last month. It's so
Dude,
crazy when you start watching someone who's small, and then like, a year or so later, you're like, Christ, this guy is huge now. Like, what happened?
Yeah, I was chatting with him when he had 500 subs, and then I was ahead of him for a while, and then he surpassed me, and I was like, you know what? You deserve a pat on the back. Nicely done.
YouTubers are awesome.
Quite cool.
Best decision I've ever made. I've met so many good people on here.
They can be. They can be a lot.
I guess that's an important asterisk there. They can be.
Yeah. I've met mostly very cool people. I can't even say I've met. I think all the YouTubers I've interacted with have been pretty much all cool. But yeah, hey yo, so other things. Speaking of things that are cool, the Nintendo Switch is a very cool console. And speaking of the Nintendo Switch, ARK Survival Evolved is on the Nintendo Switch right now, but it's on a version of the game that hasn't been updated in like 3 years.
Still use egg-based kibbles. They don't have the
Since
tier
launch.
system yet.
Oh my gosh, that sounds awful.
The sort of the light at the end of the tunnel is that, of course, the developers have announced that they are putting out a brand new update for existing Switch users, people who have the game now, and they're also releasing an Ultimate Survivor Edition, which people will be able to buy. They don't have pricing for it yet. That's pretty much an overhauled, complete reworking of the code for the game.
Hashtag not sponsored.
It looks...
Hashtag not sponsored by ARK Switch.
It kind of looks like the mobile version almost, but it's like a mix. I looked at the lighting. It's so interesting. If you look at the footage they showed like 2 days ago, the lighting's kind of like a mix of the mobile version and the actual like PC version and the rest of the consoles.
I mean, obviously, with the Switch being like a much weaker console, it's gonna have sacrifices being made in areas. But...
Yeah, for sure. That's pretty much. So it's just impressive. I mean, you look at other like Switch ports, and sometimes devs do really good jobs. So I'm eager to see how well the job they can do here. For me personally, it's too late for me. Like I'm probably not going to play this on Switch because I'm, for the most part, finishing up my final playthrough of ARK 1 because I'm just like otherwise just going to make funny videos from then on. But if they had done this like 3 years ago, I would have been like, hell yeah, and just like played the hell out of Nintendo Switch version.
Yeah. And I mean, unfortunately now, of course, Wildcard, like, it's not on them, but now with the Steam Deck, I feel like the Switch is kind of losing relevance with like PC ports,
Dude, totally agreed. I was just thinking about that. Like, the Nintendo Switch is great for its first-party stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because it only exists on it.
Well,
But when
that's true too. Yeah. Unless,
But
of
when you're
course,
talking
you
about-
happen to use an emulator. But we're not going to talk about that. The Beach Bobcast does not endorse piracy unless you're playing Atlas.
Yes. Hey, technically, you don't have to be a pirate to emulate things, but nobody actually does that.
I
So-
do not have a. You know what? It's fine. You know, it's fine. My DS broke a long time ago, but it's unrelated.
There you go. But yeah, the Steam Deck.
You
I remember
for anything.
they were showing ARK on the Steam Deck, I think, like last year, and then like the game crashed, and they were like, cut it. Like show us, like they just moved on. Yeah.
Oh my god, that
I think
reminds
it
me.
was on Lost
It's when they were. It was the Borderlands 3 like reveal trailer, and it like they couldn't get the video to play because it was a weird format, and it took like 15 minutes on stage with like technicians like scrambling their best. It was so funny.
Oh, beautiful.
Just like a random
Loving that
episode,
stuff
it reminds me of that. Like whenever shit goes bad during live streams, I find it hilarious because you have a full audience. Because you know it was obviously like pre-COVID, so like a full stadium full of people just standing there staring at you doing it. It's like, oh my god, could you imagine being on stage like?
Yeah, I would just start laughing. Like that's usually my go-to when something ridiculous happens, like in front of a bunch of people. I'm just like, you know what? I'm not taking this seriously.
Oh, you know, you got to start taking a joke. You know, doing some stand-up comedy, waiting for them to fix it.
Yeah. You guys thought we were actually good developers.
So it appears that you all thought that we knew what we were doing, and boy, how did that work out?
You can go now. Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a pleasure having you in the Stadium Hall 4. You know, tickets can be scanned at the exit there.
Maybe we'll get it working next time. Maybe.
There's always next year, guys.
Yeah. But yeah, with the Switch version, you know, in addition to the just general like reworking of all the code, they're adding ascensions for all of the story maps or new cutscenes, they said. And we don't know exactly what that means. Yeah, so I believe that was the exact wording. So I think there's really two options here. And maybe it's some combination of both. So ascensions for the maps that don't have them. The only story map that doesn't have an ascension is Scorched Earth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be correct. And so they may end up just adding an ascension for Scorched Earth that gives you extra levels, or they'll just add a pseudo ascension that's just like a lore cutscene that gives you context but doesn't give you any like benefit. And then I think they're going to end up adding those extra like sort of non-beneficial just cutscenes to the other maps that just fill in lore information and gaps and stuff. And what they've made pretty clear right now is that they're really just talking about Maddie Madden and David Tennant. So they're just going to, I think the story is mainly going to be told just by those two characters, by Helen and Rockwell, as some kind of like monologue.
A little back and forth
dialogue
in between.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. And so what that means, we don't know, but I sure as hell will be the first one to upload those cinematics.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
got to get in there quick. Got to grab that pre-release copy. You know,
Just hope Luck from the Depths doesn't beat you to it.
it's they're also showing they're gonna have the Nintendo Switch version available, maybe even with the cutscenes at PAX West this year. So I'm tempted to get a ticket and fly out just to hack the Nintendo Switches. I think it's in September. That's what they said.
So that is actually coming up pretty quick.
Yeah, I've never been to a gaming event. It is a gaming event, right? PAX West?
I
Or is it like a...
I don't know
That's what
what it is.
always goes to. They never show up to E3 or anything, so it's
Yeah, but
just
I'd
in a
love to-
warehouse and it's only Studio Wildcard. There's absolutely nothing else happening.
Just completely like a giant warehouse. You
bunch
just
of,
see
like,
them at the very
tops,
end,
like
just
exactly
staring
like
at
in the very corner of the warehouse with like, you know, like the fold out like chairs that you get at like Menards.
you. Yeah. We were waiting for you.
Hello and welcome to our dinosaur game.
But yeah, it sounds really cool. I'd love to go to that. Like, I've never been to any kind of like convention like that. So to be able to finally do some ARK stuff, see some ARK stuff at a convention, because they haven't I don't think they've done an ARK convention or anything with ARK at conventions in years, like since Extinction.
No, it's been forever.
Yeah.
I think Genesis. No, it is Extinction. I'm thinking of because that has the Titans. So,
Yeah.
There was I remember they had like a breakfast event or something when Extinction came out. I think that was around that time.
Didn't they?
I just remember.
Didn't they announce Ragnarok at E3?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, it's been.
Was Ragnarok
forever.
Before?
Yeah, it was before Extinction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, ARK in general. So we can sort of talk about the plans for the rest of ARK going forward, sort of past this Nintendo Switch thing. Just with ARK 1, what are you guys thinking about? Sort of where the community's going to be at after we get that final last bit of story content.
Well, they're supposed to be adding the card char.
Oh. Right.
Thank you for reminding me because somehow I tweeted this a couple days ago. I'm like, how did I go and completely forget about the Carcharodontosaur? And then I just did it again. But yeah, I'm quite excited for that, especially because like we haven't seen a dossier or a model or even concept art of it. So I've kind of got my fingers crossed a little bit that it's gonna take a lot of design inspiration from Dominion, Jurassic World, of their version of the Giga. Now, obviously, two different dinosaurs, but kind of closely related? Question mark. Don't sue me, please. Do not take that to heart. Please fact check. Don't quote that. But I believe they are both like Carcharodontosaurs, or Carcharodontosaurids. And
yeah, I'm not that familiar with it, but it looks cool. Did they say they're gonna put that on the island and just like retcon that Helena wrote about it? And then
I think what the plan is that it will be on all maps. It will be the first and last new creature added since the Utyrannus.
Or no, it's the otter. Was the last one?
What?
Yeah.
Otter and the Phoenix.
Otter or the Phoenix?
Both. It was the same upgrade.
Came out just for Scorched Earth. It wasn't all maps.
Well, technically, the otter's not on all maps either.
The what?
Technically, the otter's not on all maps either.
Well, it's like on the island, and
I know what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see. The problem with adding any more large carnivores is you're gonna run into the position where, is this just a clone of a T-Rex, or is this just a reskin of a Giga? So I'm interested to see if they have any special like mechanics planned, and like, the Giga is like too heavy to be brought into boss arenas. Will the Car be able to fight bosses? I'm very intrigued to see where they will take it from a niche perspective.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll just say F it, and they'll just be like, all right, it's got all of the benefits of the Rex and all the benefits of the Giga. You have fun. It's your new super dino.
Yeah, I mean, they usually do that with creatures where they give them like crazy new benefits that kind of just stump the old ones. So, wouldn't surprise me.
Thylacoleo.
Yeah. Thyla versus the saber. It's just like, what does anyone use a saber for anymore?
I think it'd be really funny though if they just never mention the Carcharodontosaurus again, ever. They never reply to any tweets. They never, and then like the day ARK 2 comes out, that's like the big showcase dino that like kills the T-Rex in the trailer.
Dude. And then they're like, by the way, I mean, it's been in ARK 1 the whole time. Like, you guys shouldn't be surprised. And then they like sneakily add it.
Exactly. Like retconning reality, Mandela effect style.
Yeah. Oh, man, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh. Happens.
Was it about the Switch cutscenes and stuff?
No, it was about the Karka, I think.
The Karka.
Karkar? How do you?
I believe it would be Karkar. The Carcharodontosaurus.
I think it's Carchar because the second car has an H.
Yeah, but that's it. So it's based off of it's the tooth, right? So it's like it's the same as Carcharodon megalodon. So it's Carcharodontosaurus. Just
Yeah.
a bit of a nerd
Hey, did you guys know
paleontology fact.
Giga is pronounced Giganotosaurus?
No, we don't
No,
know.
no, we don't
ARK
fucking get
has
that.
permanently changed the way I pronounce that word, and nothing, not even the real scientists, will be able to change that.
Yeah.
How do you say it?
I say it Giganotosaurus. When I was young, really young, and I used to read, like dinosaur picture books, and I watch, shit like Dinosaur Train, I knew it was Giganotosaurus, but like it's been completely overwritten in my memory. It's Giganotosaurus. Once again, retconning reality. It's always been Giganotosaurus, and it will always be Giganotosaurus.
To each their own. To each their own.
So what? You're gonna walk
As
around
they-
calling them Gigas now? Because that's
no, Gigas.
Gigas. Even
Yeah,
worse.
it's even worse.
Well, the reason is because you say gigantic. You don't say gigantic. Right?
Yeah, that
But-
dinosaur is gigantic. Yep.
Yeah.
Retconning the rest of my vocabulary too, it seems.
Giganototantic. I'm sorry. Hey, it's all right. It's fine. It's fine if we have our differences. No hard
Gigantic.
feelings. No gigantic hard feelings.
Boy. I don't know how to feel about that, man. Like I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I it does sound most natural to just call it a giga. Like, nobody can convince me otherwise. Giga sounds fine.
Oh man, they got a Giga. We gotta run.
Yeah, it's a little goofy. But to sort of get back to the really ARK Survival Evolved and the end of ARK Survival Evolved. Man, last year was really what was supposed to be. I feel like the end of they did announce Fjordur.
Didn't ARK just break its all-time player concurrent count?
Yeah.
I
think it
think
did.
that's because they've never done this before.
That
where
sounds
they
way
make
more
it, like, free.
imposing than Giga.
Okay.
So they kind of cheated. But still, that means that there's
Yeah.
enough people that have interest in the game to still push that number even higher. So there's still
Yeah.
it's not like it's completely redundant.
It's insane. It's because the free week thing that there people can just get it for free and have it forever. I mean, 200,000 players. I don't think it's ever.
You get to keep
reached
it?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
See,
install the game right now and have it forever.
Wildcard are some of
on
the
Steam.
best developers of all time. Like that is unheard generosity in today's market.
Well, no, they did that with Epic Games version. And
But nobody
lots of
uses
developers
Epic
do that.
Games.
Games.
That's like giving it away to Nintendo DS. No one still plays that.
Yeah, more or less. But yeah, I mean, it was mainly a good marketing tactic, I think, because at this point, I think most of their money isn't in the base game; it's in the actual DLC expansions, and so you don't get those by just downloading it. You get the base game, which is really good. Like that was a really smart move. They made
that's
it
a
free
great move.
at the end of its life cycle, so they can get a horde of new people that have never played the game before in, to milk it one last year, which I'm fine with that milking.
I
It is
think
kind of my
though,
livelihood,
no matter
but-
what, ARK 1 will always have deviant followers and modders who constantly add stuff to the game. Especially because, as we've established, ARK 2 is shaping up to be quite like a different experience.
Yeah, I'm not sure like what exactly it's gonna look like. What it's gonna look like when ARK 2 is out, but people are still playing ARK 1. It's. I feel like with games that are so heavily modded, usually there isn't like a sequel to it. Like I don't know, maybe I'm looking over things, but like Minecraft, for example,
Skyrim.
like, they haven't made right. We don't have a new Elder Scrolls and we don't have a new Minecraft. Like what would that look like? Like as far as mod support, like would there still be tons of devoted fans playing Skyrim and modding it, or playing Minecraft and modding it, or would they all move on to Minecraft 2 or the Elder Scrolls 6?
I would
whatever
say
it's
so
called.
to an extent. Obviously not. It would never get to like, the peaks of where it once was. But people, I guess myself included, have a tendency to sort of stick with what you know. like you learn the modding tools for Skyrim, and you learn the creation engine of Skyrim, and then you learn how to mod Skyrim. And it's like, man, I got to do this again now. You know, like once I've, you know, I settled into kind of a niche of like, all right, I know my editing software perfect, I know my audio, I know all my stuff. And like, yeah, I know there's much better stuff out there, even better free stuff out there, but I'm like, nah, this works for me. Like, I don't want to go out there and relearn this if I don't really have to.
Right.
Well, who knows?
Yeah,
you know, maybe
sense.
Elder Scrolls 6 will come out and they'll be like, oh yeah, this is the first game to have full dive nerve gear technology. So, you know, VR 2 just dropped, guys.
VR2. Virtual.
I'm currently memeing
Yeah,
Cap right now so hard because I'm like, hey Cap, Netty just became a full-time podcast member. And he's like, wait, he's not replacing me, right? Because I will be getting back into the every Sunday, right? And then I'm just like, dot, no comment. He's like, say psych right now. And then I send a gif of Spider-Man. You're out, Norman. This is outrageous. It's unfair. This is an injustice. This is an outrageous.
Podcasting days are over. You've been replaced.
Oh, that is so funny.
Yeah, but, you know, needless to say, we've got a lot to look forward to with ARK, and I couldn't be happier because, you know, it is a weird thing. So much of my life is just devoted to ARK, which is you know, unfortunate because the other things don't really have room to exist. But, you know, it's good to at least know that sort of lifestyle isn't entirely like, you know, the game is still very much alive, and
right.
this is one of the
It's
best
not like
years
you've
it's had in a
devoted
long
your
time.
life to like the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, right? Like there's still a future for the franchise.
Exactly.
Not just the franchise, I guess, but the game itself. Like we've said, ARK 1 at least has a good year or so left.
Yeah, and that's great from, you know, I'm really happy about that, particularly for my team. Progress in the survival stories for Aberration it's slowed down, and I was getting real worried there, but knowing that we have an extra 6 months to finish this up, I mean, we're done with the survival stories after Aberration, because, to be honest, Wildcard's taking our job, literally. We're not gonna, you know, continue after that. We're just gonna...
dude, like whoever like the CEO is, man, look at these videos this guy's making. This is great. Do it. What? Do that, but better with professional budget. Do that with the official canon voice actors. But sir, isn't that copy? I don't. We own it.
We made the game. We own it.
It's copying. We own it.
Yeah, I really gotta put that in a Dino skit at some point. Just have these just have like a meeting, like a wildcard meeting scene where we got all these survivors like sitting around.
Meme where like somebody gets thrown out a window, like, all right, this for the sequel. More dinosaurs, bigger maps. Why don't we copy our small, obscure YouTuber survival stories? Give that.
Everyone else, get out!
It's
Give this man a race.
Being thrown out the window.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, that's funny.
But yeah, ARK Survival Evolved.
I also want to try to start incorporating ARK a little bit into what I do on my main channel, because I doubt most of the podcast listeners are familiar with me outside of the podcast. Possibly, I'd hope so, but probably not. I mostly do like VR one-off funny videos, very, you know, quick edited, very funny, kind of best ofs almost. And I did buy ARK Park, and it's just been sitting here for a long time. Captain Reptile has said some phenomenal things about this game. It must be said.
They have N64 Megapithecus. Don't go in there.
64 Megapithecus. What does that mean?
And like Nintendo like Mario 64 Megapithecus. It has like 5 polygons on it. I was shooting out with a fabricated pistol.
I have played ARK Park for 22 minutes, and it was honestly not what I was expecting. It was somehow worse. It was okay. You may have heard of this film. You know, it's got kind of a cult following. It's called Jurassic Park, and they looked at that and they said, "We're just gonna do that." Like, screw coming up with like our own idea. We're just gonna do that.
It's like Jurassic World just clones.
Literally, yeah, no. But, I thought, what, it could make a couple of fun videos, like as a mini series, because it looks like it has a lot of different, like, things to do, as memeable as they are.
But yeah, Fjordur, looking good. ARK 2, also looking good, but in a year we'll have it, maybe, probably.
Probably more like 5 years.
On Nintendo Switch. Of course, getting the port and ARK. ARK, honestly, I think this is going to be ARK's best year, possibly, or sort of maybe second best year, second to Genesis 1's launch, maybe.
I think there's, a really good chance of that. ARK has always been very popular. Like, it's a sleeper popular game. Like, does that make sense? Like, it doesn't fall into, like, the pitfalls of, like, Among Us and Fortnite and Minecraft, but, like, it's just as popular. Like, do you know what I mean? It has tons of players.
Yeah, and especially with this like free weekend thing or free week permanent owning thing. I mean that's huge. It just introduced like, I don't know, something like 80, what are we at? Yeah, something like over 100,000 new players that have the game now. Maybe that is a huge estimate. I can't tell how many of these players are new, but really we got loads of new people, and if they stick with the game, there's just so much content here.
So many
over the past
bobs.
2 years. I've met so many people that are just getting into the game for the first time, and there's just so much content, and they're really there for it, and they're gonna go on to play the game for a long time with it. So, I think this is pretty huge. Really.
Yeah, I think that was a great call that they made. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Before we end it, Neddy, I don't remember if we've had a chance to ask you this yet, but one of the last episodes we did, we decided that we were going to ask every guest, although now it sounds like you're going to be more than just a guest. Do you think a griffin is 1, a mammal or a bird, and 2, does it have live children or does it lay eggs?
It's a bird, and it lays eggs.
Add another cringe to the count. I'm kidding. I'm still from the opinion that its rear end is a lion, and it would definitely have live babies.
If it has a beak, it's a bird. You can't change my mind. I'll fight you.
I can't think of any beaked mammals, and I'm upset now.
I know. Same here.
There you go. That's all it takes, man.
That's all it takes. You're just wrong. You're factually wrong. Well, how many birds have lion legs?
I mean,
Griffin.
yeah.
On fire. That's
Whoa. The griffin? What? The manticore? Is the manticore a bird? No, actually, never.
No, it does not have a beak. It does not fall into the bird category.
So it's a.
This is our thumbnail title. I think the manticore would just be classed as mythological. It has too much going on to be put into like a designated species, I think, or genus.
Yeah, the bird, the manticore he's just a guy.
He's behold a man.
It's just that thing. He's just that thing.
He's the guy. He's the manticore. What is Rockwell?
Well,
would Rockwell be classed as a
Rockwell is a octopus.
So shellfish,
A complete octopus.
cuttlefish,
100% octopus.
I think you mean Rockwell is a hentai protagonist. But well, thanks so much for watching. Just end it there.
Yes, gentlemen and ladies, thanks for joining us on the Beach Bobcast podcast. I've been NeddyTheNoodle. This is Kraken has been himself.
Kraken has been the interesting one.
And On Fire, thanks for joining as well.
Yes.
But no, I am very much.
I tried to think of something to say,
Absolutely.
and I couldn't.
Well, thanks for joining my podcast. It's been lovely to have you.
Your podcast.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I could be happy when he hears that line.
Thanks for having me on, guys. And
yeah, I mean, absolutely. You know, it's always great having you on and having anyone on. Again, I figured I'd throw this out. I don't think we've ever put this at the end of an episode, but if you are a content creator and would like to be on the Bobcast, feel free to reach out to any of us on Twitter, and we can see about maybe having you on as a guest star.
Yes.
Absolutely. Do it. Do it now.
It's a little bit aggressive, but I like the enthusiasm.
I think I've learned every time you ask for content creators, you get like a bunch of 5-year-olds that have like 2 subscribers begging to go on.
Okay, no,
So-
you gotta be like a somebody. I'm sorry. And I know that sounds pretentious coming from someone who hasn't even broke 1,000 subscribers, but like, you gotta like have a presence first.
Gotta be that guy. Okay. You're not that guy, pal.
I'm just
You're
saying,
that
like, that's how it always goes, though. They're like, I'm a content creator. I have a whopping 6 subs, and I got
Dude,
2 yesterday.
planning starting a YouTube channel soon. I'd love to be on the
guy,
pod.
bro. 6. That's a pretty good number, man. Just saying.
Yeah, and it took me 5 weeks, which is more than my
Everyone's got to start somewhere.
I
Yep.
used my mom's credit card to buy 500 subscribers. I'm somebody.
Wait, am I stopping recording now? Did we say?
Yeah, I think we stopped.
Yeah, you can probably end it.